LeBron James congratulating some of the Warriors, and we'll get a standing ovation here at Quicken Loans Arena.
When LeBron James left Cleveland in 2018, the Cavaliers found themselves in familiar territory. At the bottom of the league, searching for a new identity. What followed was years of struggle, a managerial carousel, and failed experiments as the franchise tried to fill the void left by one of the greatest players in NBA history. But fast forward to today, and the Cavs are once again contenders with a young core that is hungry for success. From a franchise that felt like they were in the shadow of LeBron James to building something special without him, this is the story of the Cleveland Cavaliers. June 19th, 2016. Cleveland was on top of the world. The Cavs had just become NBA champions after putting on one of the most entertaining performances in basketball history. The win was more than just a sports victory. It was a moment that transcended basketball, symbolizing hope, resilience, and redemption for an entire city that had endured decades of heartbreak.
Cleveland's long sports nightmare has ended. The drought is over. 52 years. Time to celebrate a title.
In 1989, Michael Jordan's buzzer beater had eliminated the Cavs in the playoffs.
Chicago has knocked off the Cavs 101 to 100.
That heartbreak was somewhat forgotten after the organization drafted LeBron James as the #1 pick in the 2003 NBA draft.
2003 NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select LeBron James.
Coming out of St. Vincent St. Mary High School in Akron, Ohio, LeBron was already a household name, nicknamed the Chosen One by Sports Illustrated at just 17 years old. The hype surrounding LeBron? It was immense. Many saw him as a once-in-a-generation talent who could save a struggling Cavaliers franchise and potentially lead them to their first NBA title.
Draft goes to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
The fans were desperate for a star to believe in after years of mediocrity. The arrival of LeBron felt like a miracle. He wasn't just a future star, he was a hometown kid who could lift the franchise to new heights. And he impressed right away, scoring 25 points, getting 6 rebounds and 9 assists in his NBA debut against the Sacramento Kings. His incredible mix of athleticism, basketball IQ, and charisma captivated not only Cleveland, but the entire league.
LeBron James' first shot is good. That's good to see.
LeBron didn't just bring hope, he transformed the Cavs into a legitimate powerhouse. In just his 4th season, LeBron led the Cavs to their first ever NBA Finals appearance. His legendary Game 5 performance against the Pistons, scoring 25 straight points in the 4th quarter and overtime, cemented his status as a superstar. Before LeBron, the Cavaliers were irrelevant in the NBA, missing the playoffs for 5 straight seasons. But now they were real contenders. From 2008 to 2010, LeBron won back-to-back MVP awards and led Cleveland to the league's best regular season record twice. But despite LeBron's individual brilliance, the Cavaliers struggled to surround him with enough talent to actually win a championship. You see, the Cavs steamrolled their way to the Eastern Conference Finals after sweeping the Detroit Pistons and the Atlanta Hawks. They were heavy favorites to reach the finals, but faced an upstart Orlando Magic team led by Dwight Howard. Despite LeBron's heroics, including his iconic Game 2 buzzer beater,
LeBron James at the buzzer as the Cavaliers have pulled it out to tie the series and won it.
the Magic defeated the Cavs in just 6 games. LeBron averaged an outstanding 38.5 points, 8.3 rebounds, and 8 assists during the series, but he lacked support from his teammates. The loss was devastating for Cleveland fans, as it became clear that even LeBron's superhuman efforts weren't enough to win a title without better help. Then after a crushing 2010 playoffs loss to the Boston Celtics, speculations grew that LeBron might leave Cleveland in search of a better supporting cast. The Cleveland front office had made some moves to help LeBron, but trading for Shaquille O'Neal, who was well past his prime, along with Anton Jamison, were not enough. The team began to receive criticism for failing to bring in a true superstar level sidekick to complement LeBron James. The Cavs had entered the 2010 playoffs as the top seed, but LeBron alone couldn't defeat a Boston Celtics team led by Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, and Rajon Rondo. What's worse is that LeBron himself seemed mentally checked out, scoring just 15 points on 3 for 14 shooting in Game 5 of the series. He was uncharacteristically passive. Many fans felt LeBron wasn't fully invested during this Boston series. His poor Game 5 performance led to conspiracy theories that he was already planning to leave.
We started off well. In the first quarter, we started off well. We made some shots, and we held them to 20 points in the quarter.
The loss to the Celtics marked the breaking point for the franchise and its fans. LeBron walked off the court with uncertainty in the air, and the reality of his possible departure began to really sink in. July 8th, 2010. Cleveland fans experienced another painful moment. LeBron's camp, led by his business partner Maverick Carter, partnered with ESPN to broadcast a 1-hour live special called The Decision. The anticipation surrounding LeBron's free agency became a media frenzy, with constant rumors and speculations about where he would go. Teams like the Miami Heat, Chicago Bulls, New York Knicks, even the Cavaliers, all courted LeBron, hoping to secure his talents. For Cleveland, it wasn't just about basketball. It was about keeping their hometown hero and maintaining hope for a championship. Well, in front of millions of people on national television, LeBron James announced that he was leaving Cleveland for Miami.
In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
Miami Heat.
Cleveland fans felt betrayed, heartbroken, outraged.
And he goes to Miami, where the most fickle fans are?
That LeBron doesn't win a championship in Miami.
Fans began to burn his jersey in the streets. The owner, Dan Gilbert, wrote an infamous open letter calling LeBron's decision a cowardly betrayal. Billboards of LeBron were torn down or vandalized. Cleveland fans felt betrayed by their hometown hero, who had been viewed as a symbol of hope for the city's first sports championship since 1964. Many felt that publicly humiliating Cleveland on national television was unnecessary and arrogant. Fans and the media painted LeBron as a villain, with nicknames like Le Fraud, Le Snake, and Le Quid becoming common. Even NBA legends like Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley expressed disappointment, criticizing LeBron for joining a super team instead of trying to win a championship on his own. Well, as LeBron enjoyed life in South Beach, picking up 2 titles, the Cavaliers experienced one of the most dramatic collapses in NBA history. The Cavs went from being a 61 team to winning just 19 games, the largest single-season drop-off in NBA history at that time. Cleveland had opened the season hoping to build around Anton Jamison, Mo Williams, and Anderson Varejao, but without LeBron's star power, the team really struggled to compete. The 2010-2011 Cavaliers set an NBA record by losing 26 consecutive games, the longest losing streak in NBA history at that time. The team's lack of a true star led to massive blowouts and morale-crushing defeats. Without LeBron, Cleveland entered a full rebuild mode, relying on the NBA draft to try and find their next superstar. Luckily for them, in 2011, they won the draft lottery and selected Kyrie Irving as the first overall pick. The shifty point guard emerged as a star, winning Rookie of the Year in 2012 and giving fans a glimmer of hope for the future. In the same draft, Cleveland selected Tristan Thompson, a promising forward who would become a key role player in the years to come. But despite Kyrie's brilliance, Cleveland still struggled to win games due to a lack of depth and poor defensive play. What's worse is they drafted really poorly after 2011. In 2012, they drafted Dion Waiters, an explosive guard who was super inconsistent. In 2013, they drafted Anthony Bennett with the first overall pick, a player who is widely considered the biggest draft bust in NBA history. Bennett struggled from the start and was out of the league within a few years. The Cavs had multiple high draft picks, but poor scouting and unfortunate picks delayed their rebuild. Head coach Byron Scott was fired after 3 losing seasons. Mike Brown, who had previously coached LeBron in Cleveland, was rehired in 2013, but was fired again after just 1 season. The lack of continuity in leadership and poor free agent signings added to the chaos, preventing Cleveland from building a coherent identity. They failed to make the playoffs in all 4 seasons without LeBron, and were one of the worst teams in the league during this period. Many Cavaliers fans felt betrayed and heartbroken, watching LeBron thrive in Miami, where he won 2 NBA championships and reached 4 straight NBA finals. The national media often referred to Cleveland as a cautionary tale of what happens when a franchise builds entirely around one superstar. Despite all of this though, some fans still had hope that LeBron would one day return, especially after the Cavs continued to stockpile assets through the draft. Well, those optimistic fans were right.
That LeBron doesn't win a championship in Miami, and I hope we come back stronger next year and we win the NBA championship.
After winning 2 championships and silencing the critics, LeBron shocked the world by announcing his return to Cleveland in a heartfelt letter published in Sports Illustrated. His return marked the start of one of the most dramatic and iconic chapters in NBA history. The Cavs already had Kyrie Irving, who was an all-star, but they decided to also trade their number 1 pick Andrew Wiggins in exchange for Kevin Love from the Minnesota Timberwolves, forming a new Big Three. They learned from their mistakes in 2010 and acquired actual top talents to surround LeBron James. Veteran role players like J.R. Smith and Timothy Mozgov and Iman Shumpert were added mid-season to strengthen the roster. After a slow start, the Cavs really hit their stride mid-season, thanks to improved chemistry and LeBron's leadership. They ended the regular season with a 53-win and 29-loss record, finishing as the 2nd seed in the Eastern Conference. They actually ended up reaching the 2015 NBA Finals despite injuries to Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving. LeBron was carrying the team, averaging 35.8 points, 13.3 rebounds, and 8.8 assists in the finals, but it wasn't enough firepower as they lost to Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. Now this loss only fueled LeBron's mission. He was determined to bring a title to Cleveland. In the next season, the Cavs parted way with head coach David Blatt mid-season despite a strong record, replacing him with his assistant, Tyronn Lue. The move was seen as controversial at the time, but the front office felt that Lue's ability to connect with players would help the team in high-pressure moments. After all, the Cavs knew that if they could just have everyone healthy going into the finals, they had a chance. Especially since LeBron single-handedly had gone toe-to-toe with the Warriors without a 2nd and 3rd star. Once again, the Cavs absolutely dominated everyone in their path in the Eastern Conference. They swept the Pistons in the 1st round, then they swept the Hawks in the 2nd round. In Game 2 against the Hawks, the Cavs actually set an NBA record at the time by making 25 3-pointers in a single game, showcasing their elite shooting. It took them 6 games to beat the Raptors in the Eastern Conference Finals, but they never looked like they were going to lose. The Cavs were back in the NBA Finals, and their opponent was the same team that beat them in 2015. Now the Warriors, they were heavy favorites after defeating Cleveland in the 2015 Finals and starting the 2016 playoffs super strong. This is a team that had finished the regular season with an impressive 73-9 record and had Steph Curry, a player who many felt was inching his way to taking LeBron's throne. This narrative gained even more momentum after the Warriors took a 3-1 lead after Game 4, with Cleveland looking completely outmatched. Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, the Warriors looked unstoppable in their free-flowing offense. No team in NBA history had ever come back from a 3-1 deficit in the final. The narrative around LeBron was that he couldn't win big games, and critics felt Cleveland's championship hopes were over. Despite LeBron's 2 rings with Miami, people focused on his finals losses, specifically his collapse in the 2011 finals against the Mavs. With their backs against the wall, with the entire world doubting them, the Cleveland Cavaliers put together one of the most insane comebacks you will ever see. In Game 5, they defeated the Warriors 112-97 with LeBron James and Kyrie Irving each scoring 41 points, becoming the first teammates in finals history to score 40-plus points in the same game. In Game 6, LeBron delivered another masterclass, scoring 41 points, grabbing 8 rebounds, and dishing out 11 assists. The Cavs had dominated defensively, setting the series to an epic Game 7. That Game 7, to this day, is probably one of the greatest matches of basketball I have ever watched. 2 titans going back and forth. For Cleveland fans, this game will always be remembered for 3 iconic moments. First one was the block.
The loudest sounds I ever heard. Boom! And when it happened, I was like, damn!
With the game tied at 89-89 and just under 2 minutes left, LeBron made his famous chase down block on Andre Iguodala, preventing a go-ahead layup. This play has become one of the most iconic defensive moments in NBA history. It was a moment that completely changed the momentum of the game, giving fans hope that this might be the year they finally end their trophy drought.
It's the last possible game, it's the last possible minute, and he does an athletic feat of sprinting back. Split second late, that's a goaltending.
The second moment is the shot. With 53 seconds left in the match, Kyrie Irving hit a clutch step-back three-pointer over Steph Curry to give Cleveland the lead. A bucket at a time where it felt like nobody could score. Then finally, the stop. Kevin Love played lockdown defense on Curry during the Warriors' final possession, preventing him from tying the game. These three moments came together, helping the Cavaliers win their first ever NBA championship and completing the greatest comeback in NBA Finals history by overcoming a 3-1 deficit. This title also ended Cleveland's 52-year professional sports championship drought. And you could see just how much it meant to the city as the championship parade drew over 1.3 million people to downtown Cleveland, celebrating what many fans called the greatest moment in the city's sports history. LeBron had fulfilled his promise to bring a championship to his hometown, cementing his legacy. His iconic post-game interview where he shouted, "Cleveland, this is for you," became synonymous with the city's redemption.
Cleveland! This is for you!
But after that incredible moment, the Cavs began to slowly fall into a steep decline. After their historic win, Cavaliers fans were shocked when the Warriors went and picked up Kevin Durant in the offseason, forming a super team. Despite the 2017 Cavs actually being a very good team, arguably better than the 2016 winning team, they did not have enough firepower to go up against the new-look Warriors. Then after the finals loss, Kyrie Irving shocked the NBA world by requesting a trade.
Times that I spent there, there's nothing about that. It comes a time where you mature as an individual. It's time to make that decision.
Reportedly, he wanted to be the focal point of a team and no longer wanted to play in LeBron's shadow. Left with no choice, the Cavs traded Kyrie to the Boston Celtics. With the team losing its second best offensive weapon, they struggled to find chemistry. Kyrie Irving's scoring was essential, and now it was just gone. They ended up trading Isaiah Thomas and Jay Crowder, players that they had gone in return for Kyrie Irving, mid-season to bring in Jordan Clarkson, Larry Nance Jr., Rodney Hood, and George Hill in an attempt to revamp the team. This trade, combined with the fact that LeBron James had one of the greatest individual seasons of his career, allowed the Cavs to finish with 50 wins and the 4th seed in the East. LeBron then carried the team throughout the entire 2018 playoffs, in what would end up being a legendary run. In Game 7 versus Indiana in the first round, LeBron scored 45 points to carry the Cavs to victory. In Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Boston Celtics, LeBron scored 35 points in another must-win game. Game 1 of the 2018 Finals, LeBron scored 51 points against the Warriors, but lost to J.R. Smith's infamous mistake, forgetting the score and dribbling out the clock. But even with LeBron going superhuman, it was not enough to beat the Warriors super team. The Cavs were swept by the Warriors in the finals, making it clear that this roster was no longer good enough to compete for a title. As a result, LeBron James left again. Unlike 2010 though, LeBron's departure was met with gratitude rather than anger, as he had delivered on his promise to bring Cleveland a championship. But once again, the Cavs found themselves as one of the worst teams in the NBA. Kevin Love was expected to lead the team, but he suffered injuries and played only 22 games. Colin Sexton, the 8th overall pick from the Kyrie Irving trade, showed flashes of potential, but wasn't enough to make the team competitive. The Cavs ended the 2019 season with only 19 wins. The next season, the struggles continued, picking up only 19 wins again in a shortened season due to COVID. The team drafted Darius Garland and signed Andre Drummond, but the rebuild was still in its early stages. Thankfully though, the rebuild project post-LeBron is now in its late stages. In the 2022 season, the Cavs surprised everyone by finishing 8th in the Eastern Conference and qualifying for the NBA play-in tournament. Although the team did not make it out of the play-in, losing to the Nets and to the Hawks, it showed that their project was progressing much faster than anyone could have anticipated. The team had greatly benefited from drafting Evan Mobley 3rd overall in the 2021 NBA draft. A versatile 7-foot big man, Mobley brought elite shot blocking and defensive versatility.
Garland leaned on by Highland. Works on Mobley's screen. Mobley took an extra dribble. He throws Gordon before he threw it down.
His presence almost single-handedly helped transform the Cavs into one of the best defensive teams in the league, drawing comparisons to players like Anthony Davis and Kevin Garnett. The Cavs then acquired Jared Allen from the Nets in a multi-team trade. Allen provided an interior defensive anchor, became an all-star in 2022, and formed a dominant defensive front court alongside Mobley. Had Allen and Sexton been healthy, the Cavs probably would have made the playoffs. Having a great defense and a young core, the Cavs decided to use their assets to make a blockbuster trade for Donovan Mitchell in 2022. Mitchell's electric scoring has brought the Cavs to another level. Him and Garland have formed one of the best backcourts in the NBA. It's why the Cavs got 51 wins in the 2023 season. That was actually the first time that they had made the playoffs in the post-LeBron era. Despite their early exit, the season was viewed as a major step forward in their rebuild, with a lot of optimism for the future. Now the talented big four of Garland, Mitchell, Mobley, and Allen is being coached by Kenny Atkinson. Known for his emphasis on player development and offensive innovation, Atkinson has implemented a system that maximizes the team's strengths. The Cavs have one of the league's most efficient offenses. Their offensive firepower is one of the major factors in why they have such an impressive record. While they're incredibly good at getting a bucket, the Cavs also have a very strong defense. It also helps that they have a superstar in Donovan Mitchell, who continues to be a key contributor, leading the team in scoring and delivering standout performances. Just look at his game winner against the Bucks.
No timeouts left for the Cavs. Here's Mitchell, who might salt away every single second. Trent Jr. pokes it away. Mitchell for the lead with .3.
Mitchell is the type of player who rises to the top when the lights are the brightest. The exact type of player you want in the postseason. Garland's playmaking and scoring have been instrumental to the offense, while Mobley and Allen provide incredible rim protection. Atkinson has also strategically utilized Mobley's skills to diversify the Cavs' offensive schemes. By having Mobley act as a point forward, Atkinson has unlocked various different offensive options, including an inverted pick and roll, where the guard set the screens for Mobley, leading to better matchups. What's great about the Cavs is that their bench is super solid as well. Karis LeVert is a versatile scorer and playmaker, often leading the second unit's offense. Ty Jerome and George Niang have been able to stretch the floor with their fantastic shooting. That spacing allows Mitchell and Garland to be able to easily get to the basket. The Cavs look fantastic, the best the organization has ever looked without LeBron James. While the 2016 title will never be forgotten, the Cavs will want to carve a new path. This team has a lot of potential, and fans should be excited to see what they can achieve. If you enjoyed this video, I'm sure you'll love this one as well. Check it out right here.